You're going to have to excuse me today for any background noise. My housemates are playing a very intense game downstairs, and I don't wish to disrupt them. Hell, they've earned it. So, this is going to be a video response to Anita Sarkeesian's latest Twitter post, where she talked about how there are many YouTubers who call her out on her stuff. She calls it slandering, by the way. And more specifically, she calls out individuals like Thunderfoot and Repzion. In other words, the popular YouTubers who have responded to her. And she had this to say, quote, "Each time an angry YouTuber with 250k plus fans decides to slander and strawman me, the harassment increases exponentially." End quote. So let's examine this claim bit by bit. She says that YouTubers like Thunderfoot and Repzion strawman her position and are slandering her. Well, I'm subscribed to both of them, and I enjoy their videos fairly frequently. But even I don't necessarily agree with all of what they're saying. And I would encourage any one of their subscribers, and even their non-subscribers, to check out their videos and watch Anita Sarkeesian's videos and decide for themselves if they really are doing what Anita says they're doing. But even from an objective point of view, who seems to be more open to discussion? Certainly not Anita Sarkeesian, considering she censors all dissent by blocking comments, blocking Twitter, disabling ratings on most of her videos. And again, irrespective of whether or not you support these YouTubers, you have to at least recognize what they're saying. Are they critical? Absolutely. Can they be harshly critical? Yes. But is it considered slander? I don't think so. What is slander, first of all? Well, slander is when someone makes an untrue or unproven allegation to ruin another person's reputation. And this usually refers to something like, oh, well, I've seen that person rob a bank before, even though that was patently untrue. Or like, I suspect that she might be a rapist. Also, like, unproven and untrue. But has any of the YouTubers said anything along the lines of that? I don't think I've ever heard any of the YouTubers, or actually any critic of Anita Sarkeesian for that matter, say anything along those lines. This really reminds me of all the religious zealots trying to fool gullible people and scam them into buying their crackpot pseudoscientific bullshit, and when actual people call them out on their shit, they just go tuck their tails and run to the corner and go, "Oh, white knights, save me, save me! This is discrimination, this is slander!" And then, of course, there's the claim that somehow these YouTubers should be responsible for their audience. Like, wow, all these YouTubers make these claims critical of me, and now everyone wants to say bad things about me. Well, no fucking shit they do, because they think you're full of shit. There's a large difference between harassment and criticism. And there's an equally large difference between criticism and slander. You don't seem to be able to understand that distinction. And isn't it just strange that the person who's criticizing the damsel in distress trope in video games is playing the damsel in distress when making passive-aggressive tweets like, "Look at all the harassment I'm getting. The more these people make videos critical of me, the more I get harassed. Save me, loyal fanbase. Save me, white knights. I'm being harassed." The irony is fucking delicious. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, Anita. From someone who has far less subscribers than you and those big YouTubers, I don't really care, to a certain extent, what those guys are saying about you, because they can't represent my opinions as well as I can represent myself. And what do I think of you? It's a difficult one. I think you're full of shit. And I think you can't take criticism at all. So I'm going to keep calling you out on your bullshit until you actually learn to accept valid criticism. Look at it from an objective point of view. And maybe you don't have to agree with it, but you have to at least accept why it's there and why people might be saying that. And until you learn to conduct yourself and your research in an academically honest way that doesn't insult an entire subculture of gamers, you haven't heard the last of me yet. And you never will. May the truth always be heard. Peace.